This next-gen demo is presented by State Farm.
All right, Rev3Games E3 at the Vivitouch booth. We're now to talk about another announced game for this next generation of consoles. The team comes from Ubisoft. It's The Crew. We are joined by Julian Garrity, the creative director of the studio out in Lyon that is making the game. It is a racing game, kind of vehicular combat, but it's a very large multiplayer component. How do you sort of best describe it? It looks like you kind of create your own little gang and you can go after the AI in the game, but you can also go after other human-controlled AI?
So, the best description I've heard comes from today. On the booth, somebody said it was an MMO car PG.
Okay.
That's really a kind of succinct way of putting it. It really is a massive world where we have a lot of varied terrain that you can drive on with lots of different cars. So let's say you want to do illegal street racing, you can do that, but we've also got off-road exploration and smuggler's run type off-road, complete sand dune jumps and things like that. So the online part of it is just the living world aspect that goes on around you. So it really is, it's a world that's alive, and that's how I like to look at it.
Now, let's go ahead and start taking a look at a game, but what we saw in the trailer was kind of an image of the United States. I'm assuming you have not mapped the entire USA as the map in the game.
It is the entire USA, contiguous.
Really?
So this isn't, New York, and then another map is Miami. No, you can drive from New York to Miami. You can drive from New York to Los Angeles. No loadings. It's streams.
In the game, I'm just curious, how long does it take to go from, say, Miami to Los Angeles to take the 10 all the way out?
So it depends on the vehicle that you're using, because we've got lots of different vehicles, and customization is really a big part of this game. But let's say you take a Lamborghini, super fast car, street car, road car. You're driving on the highways all the way. It'll take about an hour 30, an hour 45.
Wow, and you will see all the varying landscapes that you would get if you actually had driven
Absolutely.
Across the United States. So, do you just try to put together your own party and your own clan, or does the game help match you up with other players for that instance that you're taking on a mission?
So the crew aspect of it is something that's quite special. There's a single-player story, or let's say a story mode to the game, which will take you from Detroit to New York, Miami, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. So it takes you on a road trip throughout the country. And you're recruiting people who are your offline crew. Those people represent your perks, your power-ups, abilities that you'll gain. Now, when you're playing online, all the people around you, they could be crew members too. They could be people that you could recruit, and the game will suggest that. The UI's really been developed so that it's very easy to hook up with people and to recruit them. And that's useful because every single mission in the game, you can play cooperatively.
Okay, so now do you just, is it designed to build like a long-standing relationship with these people who you're discovering from within the game? And I guess the question I've had while watching this and some other games that we saw yesterday is, how often will you be playing when they're playing that you can really take advantage of that developing relationship?
It's a good point, because we've got to a certain age where we've got fairly busy lifestyles.
Exactly.
And offline, asynchronous challenges are a big part of this too.
Okay.
So you can leave ghosts, and here we can see that there's a ghost of a dirt car that's been left, and we're playing that with a perf car that has to stay on the road. So it's asynchronous and asymmetric too.
Okay, so yesterday when we saw the demo, and there was a Jeep that was off-roading, but the car that was being played was on the road. That was from a previous run on that mission that had been preserved within the game.
Absolutely.
Now I understand it. It seemed very, very, very odd at the time. Now, with sort of that much geography, how do you also maintain a variety in the mission so this really stays fresh for the player? I
think that comes down to the customization system that we have. We really have 3 different families of customization: asphalts, streets, off-road, and circuit. And every region of the USA will have one specialization in terms of customization. On top of that, the story-based missions will give you like medium-term objectives that keep refreshing the challenges. So let's say in the Midwest, your overall objective in the Midwest will be to infiltrate this gang. In New York, it's to make $1 million. It's that kind of thing. So it's constantly refreshing the meta objective, if you will, for your game.
Okay, and so the overarching story is you're infiltrating a gang of ne'er-do-wells. And how do you sort of keep that story fresh over
Different
time?
characters, different customizations, terrains, driving experiences. I mean, this is a takedown mission. We just saw an illegal street race,
Right.
and there was an exploration in the national park too. So every different region will have a different sort of experience, a different feeling for your driving.
Now, you say it's a car PG. I have a pretty good idea of how you could be upgrading your vehicle. Is that the right way to look at it? Or how dynamic can you start to really trick out your car so it actually will improve performance throughout the game?
Absolutely. Every car is a 19-piece puzzle
Okay.
that you can play around with. So you can customize it not just for performance, but for aesthetics. Our reference was Need for Speed Underground 2, which I think was an awesome game. I don't know if you played it.
No. I do know which one you're talking about. I like that you're referencing that because as we have had more and more racing games come out, some of them are a little bit daunting to assume that you have a very good engineering mind. And it sounds like you're trying to be a little bit more accepting of people who
Absolutely.
understand cars can go fast but don't understand why.
Absolutely. But, within the customization feature, you can strip the whole of the body of the car away and go inside the engine, see what's happening in there, change individual pieces, and then come back out. And that's something that we feature a lot of.
Will this be allowing players to have more than one car, or do you kind of go through that story mode and have that adventure with just one vehicle?
It allows you to have more than one car for sure, because that's part of every car game. So you can own a Nissan, you can own a Lamborghini, a Ford Mustang, that's not a problem. But we really do want to encourage you to invest a lot of time into one car and take it from pure streets to off-road, to dirt tracks, to race tracks. And certain of the cars, some of the cars, can allow you to do all of that.
So I'm trying to get a sense of how long are you going to maintain this relationship with the car? I don't want to ask you how long this game is, but you are making it sound like it's vast. I mean, it's the entire United States of America. I mean, is MMO a fair contrast, or is this a 20-hour or 40-hour or an unknown experience?
The story lasts about 20 hours.
Okay.
And that'll drive you from coast to coast. You'll see all of the customizations. But on top of that, you've got all of the skills. These are little 20-second challenges. There are thousands of those in the world. And you've got the PvP. And the PvP is what we teased on at the end of the demo yesterday, where you're facing off another person's crew. So this is something that we're going to go into more detail at the end of the year, but it's something that's pretty cool.
Okay, so there is, because that really seemed like one of the most intriguing hooks of this game. Is that become central to kind of the game, or is that something that's on the, okay.
It's definitely
Good.
central.
Now, obviously this is available for the Xbox One and for the PS4.
Yep.
What in terms of the new technology, not just the horsepower, but the cloud and some of those aspects is just trying to take advantage of?
I think the whole online world, living, breathing world around you is something that really is going to come into fruition with this generation of consoles. Last generation was definitely the HD generation.
Right.
This one, it's the online world generation. You've got an iPad.
Yeah.
If it's not connected to Wi-Fi, if it's not connected to 3G, kind of feels dead.
Yeah.
Same thing with consoles. In 2-3 years, we'll notice how important that was. That's what I think, at least.
Well, with that in mind, I mean, is the game that you get day one, is that all the game? I mean, it sounds like that this thing can start to evolve over time. That you're just kind of starting with, like, there's a starter package that this will have dynamically changing aspects from you guys?
I'll be honest, I'm focusing on getting that day one content out. That's where my head is now. But yeah, this is basically a platform, and I see it evolving for a couple of years minimum.
Well, and also what you're describing is what I'm seeing is an increasing trend with a lot of the games that we'll be getting, hopefully starting at the end of this year. When can we hope to play The Crew?
Early 2014.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Julian. I
Thanks
look
a
forward
lot.
to seeing the game again, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you
take
very
care.
much.